Hello, and welcome guys back to the Musings and Maverick channel. I'm your host Maverick, where today we're going to be watching Fire Force Episode 2. So, last episode, we got to see a taste of the good action that's in Fire Force. Seriously, the animations are super cool, and I really like the story setting of this entire thing, right? It's sort of like Earth, but not quite like Earth. There's some key differences, which I've no doubt will probably start to learn more about, maybe starting from this episode, in regards to Infernos, in regards to the fire users, like how did they become first, second, third generations, did they reproduce or what? And also like the religion that worships apparently the sun, or maybe more or less affected by the appearance of the Infernos, right? We also get to know the backstory of the main character, Shinra. To be honest, I'm fairly indifferent towards his story. Like, yeah, okay, his family is killed, and then the blame was pinned on him and whatnot, and so there's this underlying plot line where he needs to find the people or thing or whatever that was behind his parents' death, or specifically his mother's death, right? Beyond that, not really sure what type of story this anime wants to tell. Is it going to be focused more on sort of like the character relations with each other, and then sometimes going back to the main story or this underlying story, or are there going to be some other, I guess, mysterious forces at work, some big bad organization which they need to take down? In any case, let's just get into the episode and see what is up. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. And self-combustion. Alright. So not just oh yeah, well, I guess not just yourself combusting. Oh, a new character already? I haven't even completely memorized the names of all the current characters. Okay. Okay. So that's why he wanted to become a firefighter. Oh, they know each other? Okay. Well, this is a good song, but since we've already seen this in the first episode, I'm just skip it for now. I'll see you guys in just a second. And back. Fire Force Station. Mm. Yeah, I actually did. Someone did comment on the differences between the first, second, and third generations. So the second generations can control fire. Third generations can start fire. In addition to controlling fire, can start fire by themselves. Oh. fighting already? Well, judging from that, I'm guessing this new dude's a third generation as well. The Night King? Okay. Okay. Okay, so fourth wall breaking. The looks. Oh. This dude. Oh. Is he gonna be disciplined? Oh? I'm pretty sure she can take on these two. Mm. Oh. Oh, I guess if he died just from that. However, I never. Controlling another fire uses flames. What? Is that fire as well? I guess concentrated fire? That's why it's blue? Like, oh. Oh. You two are dead. Ah, that's a cool villain. So what's gonna happen? What? So they don't want to give up. I mean, mm, you put the ramen. This is actually a actual chain ramen shop. Okay, so it's an axe and a gun at the same time? Right, yeah. This guy is not a fire user. Hmm. Okay, so now I guess this episode we're gonna see the two rookies backing each other up or something. Yeah, there's no fire. A relatively peaceful one. Hmm. So it can be passed through blood? Hereditary? Don't show. Is he gonna get angry?
我々特殊消防隊の任務はホムラ人と戦い鎮魂することだ。ホムラ人は元人間。鎮魂を名目にしてはいるが、俺たちがやっていることは
It's killing them?
特殊消防官の中には自分たちを聖職者とのたまってホムラ人との戦闘に喜びを求める者もいる。だが残された遺族の気持ちはどうなる？
Yeah, you're essentially killing that girl's father.
遺族の前で武器は決して見せるな。それができない奴はうちにはいらん。はい。そうだ。残された人に寄り添えなきゃ。真のヒーローじゃない。
Okay. And who are you? So I guess there is some kind of other organization. That answers my question. Oh. Just like that? Huh, he still has his conscience.
まだ何もしてないだろ。バカ野郎！あの親父はとてつもない炎の痛みに耐えて座っているんだぞ。早く楽にしてやるんだ。人七丸六。ホムラ人の鎮魂に。
I mean, unless you guys find a way to reverse it, I'd say this is probably for the best. Is something gonna happen? Lot. What? You want to save it for the girl? Dang, this captain, dude. Joker. Okay. I have to admit, this one is quite touching. Especially when you consider all the other infernos, and yet for this inferno, he just sits there and takes it. Like, especially in this case, it's pretty clear that they still have a conscience of some sort. Hmm. What? Hmm. Okay. So I guess these are not mortal enemies, as they... Hmm. Alrighty. Ah, and we've already seen this one as well. So, I will see you guys after the ending. Alrighty, so that was episode 2 of Fire Force. To be honest, there's not really that much to talk about for this episode, so I'm gonna make it brief, maybe like 4 points or whatnot. First of all, let's talk a little bit about this new character, right? Offer. I mean, his abilities are pretty much self-explanatory. I was more interested in his relation with our main protagonist, Shinra, right? So I had thought that we were probably going to have to go through all this, misunderstanding and then forming a bond and eventually becoming friends, yada yada yada. But I feel like it seems that they already have this sort of rival friend relationship already. So at least that is nice to see, right? Although to be honest, I'm not entirely sure like what that whole ending scene was between those two. Like, is it that Shinra is having nightmares or something, or he's overthinking things, and so Offer's just telling him, hey, don't overthink things? Not quite sure what that part is, but I'm assuming it's to comfort him in some sort of way, right? And then the second one would be that we learn a little bit more about the differences between the second generation, third generation, and their usage of abilities, right? Now, I had always thought that third generation fire users were, I guess, more advanced, and technically they still are, because they can create flames themselves, and because they have a high affinity for these flames, they can they can use it to do more incredible things. But I actually did not consider the fact that Generation 2s second generations can actually control the flames of the third generations. So that makes it a much smaller gap than I was originally anticipating. Although I guess probably it also has something to do with experiments and your own grasp on your powers, right? In Shinra and Offer's case, maybe because they're rookies, they're not as accustomed to having 100% control over their abilities yet, and so that's why someone like Maki is able to change their flames and whatnot, right? Otherwise, it seems that, if we're looking at it this way, second generation, the abilities of second generation might be even better than those of the third. At least what we can see so far at this power level, right? And also, since we're already on the topic of Offer and, the entire fight scene, I have to say that I feel like the pacing of this episode was a little bit weird, right? Both in the timing of the jokes and in some certain scenes, as well as the whole fight itself. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a little bit clunky, if you will, right? It's not, it's not entirely unwatchable or anything. It's just that I feel like, I don't know, it's like we're trying to build towards a payoff, but the payoff never really came through, if you guys get what I mean. But that is more of a nitpick. I'll be frank there as well. As for the actual, the actual inferno of this episode, so I guess we're kind of going like a monster of the week type of scenario. Like I said, mentioned during the episode, that actually did touch me a little bit, when with the little girl and with her father, right? With the schoolgirl and with her father. Like, if it was just, we know that once Inferno is out, it's not the same person anymore, right? They have to be put down some way. In the past episode, even though it was one of their loved ones turning, I could, yeah, they've already turned, there's not much else you can do, right? In this case, however, I feel like it struck a chord more because the father actually had some sort of conscience still there, so he didn't go on a rampage and instead accepted his fate to be killed or put to rest, if you will, by the Fire Force, right? And I feel like that really makes it hits more close to home, especially when you consider that there's a person trapped inside there, but nobody has any way of saving them, right? So I did like that part of the portrayal. And then, of course, finally we have this Joker character, right? Like I mentioned, there probably is. Well, my guess was that there is some kind of organization that is sort of the anti-organization to the fire forces, if you will. And especially when you consider that the current religion of this world seems to be based on these fires being there, right? I'm assuming that the reason that it's so different from our religion is probably because of these infernos or these flames, right? And where you got religion, you always have some sect of people that are doing the complete opposite. So I'm wondering if this Joker character is really just a lone wolf, or does he have a sort of network behind him, working together as well, right? At this point, we don't know, so I'm not going to speculate too further. But yeah, I feel like that's about all I want to touch on for this episode. Like I said, the pacing I have some issues with, and to be honest, the jokes were kind of hit and miss as well. Breaking the fourth wall, haha, funny. Calling Maki a gorilla ape and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. It's not that good written humor. But I'm sure that most of us are not here for the humor anyways. We're here for the action. So, yeah, whatever. Let's just wait until the next big demon so that we can have the next big fight, right? Looking at the opening, looking at the ending, we still got a lot of cool stuff, cool moves, and cool action to see. So, let's just move forward and look forward to that part instead. So, that's been my review of Fire Force Episode 2. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.